Hello again. Welcome back to Billy Ho's Sports. Today, we're going to dive into Derby Future Pool Round 2. It came out opening Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Will close Sunday, December 1st. That's the last day of the meet at Churchill Downs. So, what I'm going to do today, I'm not going to go over all 38 horses or whatever's on there, but I am going to highlight the 5 Bob Baffert horses because I put bets on all of them. Derby Pool 2 is definitely the one to look at because it's post Breeders' Cup and then it's later on in the year. So we got these recent winners like Barnes and a couple other horses that have recently broke their maiden toward the end of November around Thanksgiving. So we're going to cover the Barnes race just briefly. And then actually, I have a full race video breakdown if you want to give it a look. So evidently, got picked up some new subscribers along the way because of that video that came out very good and a lot of really, really great comments. The best I've seen. So keep them coming. Everybody's got an opinion, whether you love Baffert or you hate him, or how the horse looked or how he did. Was just always, I always like to hear what you have to say. So appreciate you joining me today. Hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so now. Tell a friend too, because I'm covering the Kentucky Derby 151 intensely over the next several months as we get into these early preps and the points race really kicks in after the first of the year. So if you don't know me, I am from Louisville, Kentucky, live near Churchill Downs. So I do have some local knowledge that some others may not have. But anyway, it's for the first time since the spring of 2021. It's hard to believe it's been that long ago. Bob Baffert had a horse running at Churchill Downs last Wednesday. That was that 2-year-old yearling Barnes purchased at the Facing Tipton auction, $3.2 million. Well, he earned a piece of that back, breaking that debut. Wednesday went 5.5 furlongs. Wild finish as he ran down Dwayne's Hall of Famer or Hall of Fame trainer, Dwayne Lucas, the horse innovator, right at the wire. So, getting into the horse Barnes, sired by Into Mischief. I actually looked at Into Mischief on the sire pool, but it was like all the way down to 6-1 or something like that. I said, I'm not betting that thing at 6-1. So I thought if it was 20-1, because there are several horses, including a couple of Bafferts and others that are sired by Into Mischief. I thought, well, if it's got good odds, I might put a little bucks on that too for the sire, but I didn't do that. But anyway, also the damn All American Dream produced American Pharaoh, so as well. So really good breeding on both sides of the horse there. 94 Brisnet speed figure for that debut, and he was kind of green, so you can go back and look at the video and see how he did. He was currently around 10-1. So it's going to fluctuate by the time it closes tomorrow. We'll see where the money's at there. Citizen Bull is the actually probably the lowest odds of any horse. Baffert's 9-1, I think, at the time that I bet it. 2-year-old champ, obviously winner of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, is half brother to Barnes, also sired by Into Mischief. He's proven himself very much the early front running favorite. 4 starts, 107 Brisnet number for that BC Juvenile. Previous race, grade 1 winner as well. So tops in the field, I'd say right there with him is Gaming. Gaming was 23-1, I think, around there. Right there with Citizen Bull. Only a length and a half back of the stablemate at the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. That one is sired by the 2018 Breeders' Cup Juvenile champ. 5th place in the 2019 Kentucky Derby by the name of Game Winner. And then the next one, the odds start to go up. And it's not always that Baffert favorite that wins. The other Baffert horse can get it done too sometimes. Getaway Car was up around 65-1 last time I looked, sired by Curlin. Grade 3 Best Pal winner, 2nd in the American Pharaoh, 4th in the Juvenile. So pretty good value, 65 to 1. Maybe it'll go up even further by the time the end of the weekend goes. We'll see what happens. It always tells you on the list what the predicted line is, and all these horses were predicted in the 5 to 2 range, 3 to 1 range. So getting 65 to 1, getaway car was probably more like 8 to 1, but still a pretty good value on that one so far. So the last Baffert horse, relatively new, I'd say, Romanesque. 40 to 1 opening line, but it was 56, and I think it was rising last time. He just recently broke his maiden first out November 23rd at Del Mar. He earned a respectable 93 Brisnet number. Good looking horse. Definitely showed some professionalism the way he ran. He stalked the pace and closed well, sired by Practical Joke. I don't know if we'll see this one in action again. Maybe he gets another race in under his belt before next year's prep season, but definitely one to watch out for. Probably has tremendous upside. And I'll have to mention the other, they ran 1-2 in that race. Rodriguez was the other Baffert horse, ran second. He was like 3 or 4 lengths back, but he was 9 lengths clear of the third place horse. That one might be interesting to look at down the road. Might land in pool number 3 for all we know. So anyway, just looking at some few. I wanted to focus on the Baffert horses, but some other ones that garner interest. Obviously, Chancer McPatrick, somewhere around 19 to 1. Chad Brown trained. Outpaced in the juvenile, really did not look good. This one's going to have to come back in its next race and look to do something. I think the closer has a really great rally, but these closers sometimes struggle against the speed, and it's only going to get harder because he's, especially with the Baffert horses, you get them on a dry, fast track like Authentic did in 2020, and some of the obviously the Citizen Bull and Gaming did in Del Mar, and they just get out and they set comfortable paces, and you're at the mercy of the pace if you're a closer, and if you're getting an acceptable pace, then you got no shot to run these horses down in the stretch. So uh, also speaking of speed, East Avenue currently was 21 to 1, and it should be known the poor outcome you saw in the juvenile was due to a terrible stumble at the start out of the gate. Was in the one post and needed to break fast, and then just almost fell to his knees out of the gate. So just was never able to get engaged in that race. A very talented horse who does possess the talent and the speed to contend with those Bafferts on an even playing field. So we'll have to see. That's another one I think that needs to get back in the saddle and get out there. Maybe something like the Gun Runner coming up next month. To see if he can bounce back would be interesting to see. Another horse that was a bit highly touted was Ferocious. That one, 39 to 1, was outgunned in the Hopeful by Chancer McPatrick, and then kind of blown out by East Avenue in the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland. Fifth place in the Juvie, not too bad there. So Ferocious is one to kind of keep an eye on as well. 39 to 1, I believe, at the time that I looked it up. He'll have something to prove because he's been beaten by 2 different horses in this race that both of them, neither one of them performed admirably in the Breeders' Cup Juveniles. So Bill Mott, Sovereignty, good looking horse. It was 20 to 1. That's another into mischief. I considered, I said the sire pull I had considered. Winner of the Street Sense at Churchill Downs. I believe might be, it's either 20, 22 to 1, somewhere in that range. I think I just looked it up a few minutes ago before we started. That's why I got 22 to 1 written here. So anyway, definitely one to watch, to keep an eye out on. And then the big race tomorrow at Churchill Downs is going to be the Kentucky Jockey Club. That's the grade 2 for the 2-year-olds, going 2 turns on the Churchill Downs dirt. Several contenders in there, including one Jonathan's Way, who is 45 to 1 last I looked on the early pool. So if you're a truther on Jonathan's Way, go ahead and get that bet in now, because if he shows up tomorrow and blows them out in the Kentucky Jockey Club, that 45 to 1 is going to drop. So that's Philip Bauer, the trainer there. But the competition was a bit questionable. He was impressive in the grade 3 Iroquois, but now winning the Kentucky Jockey Club, or at least making a good showing, should propel him back into the conversation as one of the top contenders. I didn't pick him to win, but I think I had him. If you check out my video, I have the contenders there, and I made some selections, but I didn't pick him to win. But I believe he was my second choice in that race. I think he'll run well. So, like I said, the Iroquois was just a one turn, and the only two turn test he's had was less than good. Obviously, that Breeders' Cup Juvenile. So, the last one I think I'll mention, Bullard is trained by Mike McCarthy. Gun runner colt, crushed it in the Bob Hope at Del Mar a week or so ago. He's currently 28 to 1. And that is definitely one to keep an eye out on. Bullard for Mike McCarthy coming out west from Del Mar. A lot of these horses might end up at fairgrounds for the preps or Oaklawn, one of the others. So, or they may just stay out west and wait for the Santa Anitas and the and whatnot and the San Felipes of the world. So we'll see what happens. It's up in the air. If I didn't mention a horse that you're interested in, let me know in the comments and I'll take a look into it and we'll put something out sometime soon. And but that's all I got for you today. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. Smash that like while you're at it. Share on social media. Give me a follow on X at Billy Ho Sports. And until next time, see you soon.